In this Kittl tutorial, I'm going to walk through layers, how to find layers and how to extract things out of the layers that you could use for your own projects. So here I am on the main page. I'm going to click on templates on the left-hand side. And I'm going to scroll on down and I'm going to find a template that has a bunch of layers in it. Here we can find this really cool one here with an angel. I'm going to click on it. This looks really good. We can see there's lots of different layers inside of it. I'm going to click Use Template. All right, so one of the great things about Kittl is that you can click on something inside the design and you can move it around. So this is an individual element inside the design. But what would happen if I wanted to just not delete it, but just turn it off? On the left-hand side, there's a Layers panel. It's down on the lower left-hand side. And when I click on the Layers panel, we're going to see this one layer pops up. It says Rebel Angle Streetwear with a little eyeball. And if I click on the eyeball, it will turn off the visibility for the whole design. And that's not what I want. I just want to see what's inside the design in terms of layers. So what I can do is click this little right arrow button and it will turn to a down arrow button. This gives me all the individual layers inside this design. We can see I've got a top element, a line, a triangle, and then a bunch of text. The list goes on and on. So if I wanted to select the angel, I'll select the angel and I can see now illustration is highlighted. So either selecting the actual picture, that highlights the layer, or I can highlight the layer and that highlights the picture. I'm now going to click the little eyeball button next to illustration and we can see just the angel now has disappeared. This is really helpful if you have layers on top of layers and it's hard to click on sometimes. The other thing you can do is you can just hover over the image. You don't actually have to start clicking. So if I hover over the star here or here, for example, you'll see on the left-hand side, the star layer is highlighted. When I hover over the angel, the illustration layer is highlighted. Now you'll see other things that can be extracted out as well. So for example, the star layer also can be drilled down one more. You can see there's two different stars individually. So I could turn off one or I could turn off the other. I could isolate that as well. Now, if you'd like to take an image from a template, not a big deal. Simply click on it, make sure your layer is selected, and then you can right click and you can copy. Now I can go back to the main page. I could click on New Project on the top right. I can select my artboard. In this case, I'm going to select Print on Demand Merch by Amazon, and I'll click Create. So now I have an entirely new artboard. I can simply right click and I could paste. I did want to point out sometimes in Kittl, when you paste something into a new project, it may not hit in the board. It may actually go off to the side. So just zoom out. You can hold down the Control key and use your mouse wheel to zoom out, and then you can grab it and move it into your artboard. Quick little bonus tip, if you're working away and you've zoomed out on something, you can zoom back in pretty easily. Shift 1 will fit everything on the screen, but Shift 2, so you hold down the Shift key and you press the number 2, that will actually center your artboard. So I recommend using Shift 2 to get back on track where it shows a full screen. The Layers panel is really nice if you want to move something underneath or over top of something else. So here I have text that's sitting on top of my image, and I'd like to move it underneath. Now I can just simply select the text, right click, and I can move it backwards. That will move it back one layer. But if I have multiple layers, it may be useful to use the Layers panel. So what I'll do instead is I'll go to the lower left-hand side, I'll click on the Layers panel, and I'll see that there's 3 layers. I'll simply grab my text layer by clicking it and just simply dragging it underneath the image layer. Another tip is you can remove the background from here by going into the Layers panel and simply turning off the background panel with the little eyeball. Now you'll see my background is clear, and this is really useful if you're making t-shirts or other designs where you don't want to have a colored background. I hope you found this walkthrough helpful. I love using Kittl. I'll put a link to Kittl in the video description below. Just a heads up, it is an affiliate link. That just means that if you click on the link and you purchase the Kittl subscription, I would receive a small commission. There's a ton of things to see and do inside of Kittl. Highly, highly recommend. Here's another video where you can have some fun using Kittl.